Beloved star, welcome. Welcome to Immortal Star Pod episode 43. And in this one, I would love to share the first teaching of The Silver Wheel, which is the book that I wrote. Well, I spent 10 years writing from my early 20s through to my early 30s and was published in 2016, 7 years ago. And just this week, I had news that it will enter its third reprinting, which is really, really magical news. So as I read this, you may have your own copy of The Silver Wheel, and this may be the first time that you've heard it. And if you are drawn to it, it will be reprinted soon. I haven't got the exact date yet, but it will be something I share as soon as it's available again in a physical copy. I'll let you know. So it is available as an ebook. You can buy it in that form. I know many people love to have the physical copy because there's something special about the physical form of the book itself. And here it is, The Silver Wheel. So if you're watching the pod on YouTube, you'll see this. And this book very much came to me in a vision. And the beautiful thing is the way that I saw this book, it was as though haunted by its presence upon the shelves of the bookstores, almost as though it already existed, but I just could never ever find it. And I realized it was mine alone to bring through, that I needed to write it if it was going to exist. And this physical book actually looks just like the one that I saw in vision on the shelves of the bookshops. So yeah, it was an amazing thing when I first held this in my hands and realized that that vision had been fulfilled. So I would love to share this with you. What has also been amazing about bringing this book through is that it was very much a prophetic channeling, if you like, of a consciousness that I did not yet fully embody. I was in a deep journey of remembrance, and the book holds that story of awakening, of remembering, of the process of that, the gradual process of that taking place. But the wisdom teachings of the book itself were very, very much channeled through at that time, through the domains of my own higher consciousness. And what I've witnessed in the 7 years since this book was completed and published is the truth of the prophecy within its pages, it actually coming true for myself and within the reality of the earth and in those whom I have connected with ever since. So that has been an extraordinary thing. So when I read it now, I experience it quite differently to when I wrote it. It's just amazing. The deep wondering in my being as it came through is now a profound recognition of a reality that is taking place. So I'd love to share with you chapter 1. I've never recorded a reading of this, so settling in, this is a little like story time at this pod. And I think of the first chapter as that of the Swanfeather Cloak. This is the teaching of the Swanfeather Cloak. And these are the words of the first teaching of the Deerskin book. There are those who will become keystones of the new earth. Their energy bodies will alter. They will shine. They will become the new earth. They will receive the initiations that they need for this reconfiguration. This choice is animated by exceptional love for the earth. And this glyph that overlights this first teaching. So chapter 1, the white tree is turning gold. Swan feathers descend. Cross over a cloak, old daughter lost. A moth holds ritual in the forest of tears. Lost chalices gather of amethyst, amber, topaz. Her white hands seek amber, the ancestry of bears. Too far from afar, it is here. An old love becomes older. This book is written for those who are dedicated to the earth. We have tended to her starlit blueprint for millennia and dwelt in the sacred places where her light burns most brightly. Silver Wheel is a record of the incoming dream of the new earth, This dream is transforming the very structures of our reality, and we witness an old world falling away. We are attuned to this by lifetimes of extraordinary love for the earth. It has this quality of belonging simultaneously to a very ancient past and to the future. It is familiar to us as though it is a dream we have walked in before. It becomes difficult to distinguish what belongs to an ancient and exquisite past and what belongs to a future that we pick up on our most delicate antennae. There seems to be a circle completing itself, a return to the beginning. It is a blueprint burning with the star fire of an intelligence beyond the ordinary. It holds the lost temples of a sacred activity, of indigo and luminous pathways, a white grove that holds the star council of the universe. It is a sapphire and indigo realm, the incoming dream of Earth. The flowers link us to our light bodies, and in our listening and our silence, we are architects of sound. This is a sapphire realm of returning memory, the blueprint of the new Earth. We can access this through the stars and by listening to the natural world. It is a starlit blueprint of the Earth that is descending to us in every breath, every silence. You are the elder into whose hands this book has fallen. You are the message. It is you who have been hidden for millennia, who now with your gifts of gentleness, sensitivity, and courage are stepping forth. Everywhere at all times the silver wheel points to you. It discovers you, it seeks you, it reflects the beautiful wisdom you hold. We become this here on this earth at this time, and in so doing we step out of the ordinary continuum. We are beacons for its light. We are architects of time and space, through sound and silence anchoring its dimensional possibilities in this world. This is a natural timing, a natural occurrence in an unfolding evolution. It is a commitment and also a blessing. We are encoded with this reappearance of timelessness and peace. We dream with the earth, we dream this dream that she is dreaming. We travel with her along the shining paths of her evolution. We are designed for this sacred work. It comes to us as a natural talent, as something somehow we know how to do. We let go of all that we tried to learn that was not native, that was not natural to us. And we take up this thread of our natural ability, of our ancient training and predisposition. A long time ago, we knew how to be one with the earth, how to be part of her environment, and we knew the inestimable blessings this bestowed upon us, the fields of being that opened up. We discovered the trails to the infinite within every aspect of the earth. Every orchid can teach us the beauty of the universe, and there is delight in this adventure, this discovery. But we have become separate from this experience, at least in our conscious minds. In truth, our awareness can never be unbound from the web of life. The Deerskin book encodes this experience, its different dimensions, with its symbols and its writing indecipherable to this day and age, written in the gold and silver inks of the sun and of the moon. We must learn to trust ourselves again. We must learn to become anchored once again in the awareness of the divine plan. This is not a return to the past, to a lost Elysium. It is the inauguration of something that has never been before, yet woven with the inspirations of Lemuria. Truly, this is the arrival of a golden age, an era long anticipated and prepared for. We cannot hurry the timing, the day or the hour of its arrival, and yet here it is, and there are paradigms of an ancient harmony flowering into existence, making themselves visible. Everywhere there have been signs, always guiding us on. Only the language has become ever more secret, ever more hidden. This is because by its own inner necessity, the available paradigm conceals so much of who we are. Anything that does not mirror this paradigm has faded, has become invisible. The language of the Deerskin book is not a secret language. It has actually been encoded in a form that would make it most deeply and universally available when the timing was right. I have longed to speak these words, to let this dance of gold and silver inks unfold, to let the shining realm of Ari and Rod be known, to unleash the starlit dimensions of the ancient Lemurian temple into the world once again. Yet it has taken its own time. The world unfolds in its own ineffable progression of beauty as the starlight weaves its own tale toward fulfillment. Sometimes it seems the heart has taken a long time to come into the expression of that which it knows. Yet see how nature encodes its own progressions of growth, the wild harmonies of the slow trees. Honor these trees, their patterns of bark and growth. They exist in an exquisite dance with levels of incomparable order and coherence. These are the teachings of the grove, which shall follow. The earth herself offers us these teachings. I can see her stepping silver through the veil ahead. She knows that we will follow her now, that the time is come. Great it is to surrender to the sun and the stars. Do not be daunted. Your wisdom is the blossoming key in the lock of this great awakening. You are the treasurer of this new beginning, or rather, this culmination. This book has waited to be found, and this is its transcription. I have dreamt you, and you have dreamt me. We are starlight falling in and out of one another, and it does not matter that there is so very little to us. In fact, the less the better that the music of the spheres may sound through us. We have only to let ourselves be loved by the currents of starlight that are our breath and blood. This may seem impossible. It may seem absurd. And perhaps it is only this, that which unfolds, and perhaps it is all less serious than we have believed. How to be so immense and so insignificant all at once. When the dust of stars lands in your hands, and it is yours to build the lost temples, remember this. This lightness will be your blessing and your liberation. For how otherwise would we go on under the burden of responsibility, the weight of worlds depending upon our integrity, our perfection? Be what you are, and be this now. There is no time for delay, no need for preparation. You have spent aeons becoming all that you are, and this is encoded deep within you. You are this surrendered dance of yourself. You are already unbound and magnificent. There are many ways for saying the same thing. There are many ways of approaching this heart that is truth. That is why the deer has laid trails all over the earth, leaving pathways this way and that way through the forests. You shall have your own epiphanies when the lost dimensions shimmer through into your existence, and you shall know these moments for what they are. As you walk through the forest, at any moment the wild orchid might appear, and you shall hear its message. It is by our witnessing that the temple unfolds. It shall appear just as the flower does, sudden and inexplicable as a dream, and there shall be no doubt. Here are the harmonies, here is the forest, here is the grove in which the white trees hold the council of the stars, and all this is yours. The first teaching of the Deerskin book is that it is already here, it is already happening, already you are the child of the dawn, the one who brings the starlight prayer to earth. Please do not deny this legacy. In truth, your surrender to this shall go ever deeper and deeper. You shall know and become the full dimension of the lost temples. You shall be this perfect blossoming of the earth in her body of fire and water, earth and air. What would you rather do than this? What would you rather do than stand amongst the silver trees of the Council of the Stars, unfolding as a flower of wild angelic geometries, hearing the great councils of the universe, whose song longs to be told through your blood, manifested through your hands? There is the restoration of that which we have carried through aeons, and we are its architects. This is the voice of your own prayer, echoing back to you, resounding through the universe. The earth waits for us to see her own miraculous nature, how she is unbound by the limitations we have placed upon her. She is a necklace of light, a crown of stars within the universe. She does not end at ocean's edge. She does not fall invisible into rocks, into magma, into darkness. She is our own starlit prayer, echoing through us. She is the manifestation of all we have dreamt. And she dreams us also. She dreams our starlit dance upon her surface, the fall of our footprints. She guides us in the dance of the lost temples, in perfect timings of discovery, rediscovery. This is true even when we ourselves only fitfully hear the passing of her dream within us. Do not doubt how much she cares for you and how much she feels. There is no inanimate universe separate from the heart. Nothing moves separate from the heart. From it, every emerald and finite reality spirals out, as does every unfulfilled dream. Do not believe that your prayers go unheard. There is a wisdom in this earth, and this is the prayer we have been making. These are the lifetimes of our endeavors, our elemental perfection spelling out its dance. I am a timing and a voice. I am the boundary you are losing to yourself, to the future, to the true nature of reality. Just keep on listening, and you shall see how the ordinary and changeless fabric of consciousness yields to that which it longs for. It longs for the crystalline encodings of a new dawn. It longs for an end to suffering. It does not know in itself how to make this change, this transformation. And in fact, such transformation seems at times like a distant prayer, a fantasy. How hopeless it can seem. Shall we not just struggle on, alone and unconvinced? And yet before and after, you are always something else. There is always already this difference within you, that which goes unaccounted for. I do not summon this. It always already exists, like the deep blue sky beyond the clouds. And so this is an invocation, an acknowledgement of that which is always already there. There is the beyond of yourself, the vast distances of the divine, that which spells heavenly patterns through your days. It needs no belief or religion, no interpretation to acknowledge this. It cannot be taken away, nor can it be altered. And so I speak of this and to this. This is the acknowledgement of the vast horizon within yourself, of that which as yet goes unwritten. And what if I left it at this, as the sporadic passing of wonder, of expansion through the heart, as the appreciation of beauty, of goodness, of kindness, of wisdom? Yes, these things truly are enough, and we need never look beyond in order to lend meaning to our lives. We need never ask more than this. So what of a passing voice and a deerskin book? What need have we of these things? None. There is no need. There is no metaphysical imperative guiding this pen. There is only that which arises and offers itself. There is only the witness and the one who receives. There are only the silver hooves of a deer through the forests of time, a star shining at her brow, and a pathway in her wake through the forest. And there is a clearing and a green mound where the shining ones have placed their standing stones. And what of this? Shall we not let these things pass? Shall we not walk away from these tracks into the infinite? It is only that, as I sit here, I already know that I shall walk that path through the forest, and that the orchid shall sing me her song, and that somehow this shall matter. The unbounded mind and the uncertain mind are always linked. I know that there is no end and no beginning to these things, only the shining silver sense that must play itself out through my hands. I cannot offer a limitation to my own boundlessness. I am already unbound, and I do not know what will happen next. I am already attuned to a new earth, and the raindrops are carrying the stars from the sky. Have you ever wondered why you do not give up? It is because you carry the heritage of angels, of a star dance. There is an unfinished song within you, and you are here to make it heard. And so this arrives, the deerskin book, a gift from another age and another dimension, the remnant of another world and time. If you are reading this book, then you are a keystone in this archway of remembrance. You are one of the ones who cannot help at this moment but begin to remember another existence, another music, and in and out of the days it weaves its light, its presence, and shimmers through you a tale longing to be told. The deerskin book contains the 13 glyphs of an ancient Lemurian temple, one that shone with love and proud light throughout this universe. These glyphs allow our transformation into a higher vibrational octave, and they are our natural inheritance at this time. They call our bodies, our cells, our beings into transmutation. They are sound lights that cascade to us, that are caught as they fall and felt as starlight entering the hands and feet. They enable a sensitivity we have not known for many an age, an exquisite flowering of our own light bodies. It cannot be resisted, nor can it be sought. It falls from the stars towards us and evokes our journey to meet its light. We become travelers. We become those who dance by different lights and yet not disconnected. We must not mistake this as an alternative reality. The attunement is as natural as sunrise or nightfall. It distributes itself and settles in willing hearts. There is the feeling, we have witnessed this before, of it being something we have known. It stirs gestures within us. It comes to us as a white deer, as a bear, or the sweeping arms of a cedar tree. It comes to us in the beauty of a drum, the sounding of a crystal bowl. We are urged as if by stars in our hands to take up a bell and to ring it, to place crystals in a certain configuration, a pattern. And we know that by so doing we have made our answering call to the stars. We have drawn closer, drawn them closer. Walking amongst the snowdrops or in the soul lights and silence of ourselves, we feel these things. There is a different order of existence to which we are being called. By this we begin to shine, to become apparent. We become a beacon ourselves of that which is sensed. Our affinity is making us shine, and we are becoming in human form the evocation of the lost temples. This acts as a profound inspiration that stirs other hearts to remembrance. We draw one another into the field of wonder, into the new earth. Do not distrust the desire, so intense as it becomes, to manifest this beauty. It is as though the starlight fires the blood into a passion of becoming and a desire for radiance. Would you discourage the seed in its longing to become the flower, or the caterpillar, the butterfly? When the radiance falls to you, take up this starlight gift. Take up the responsibility and the abandonment. Take up the companionship of this inspiration. We have hesitated long enough, hidden in far crystal caverns beneath the earth, hiding the radiance of the shining ones. This time is past. There need no longer be a separation between the spiritual and the physical, with one held as more real than the other. This first teaching is the lesson of embodiment, the becoming of this here and now. The teachings and the symbols are inspiration from the angelic, ancient presences of earth. They offer companionship, a supportive spiritual field, a surrounding cocoon for your attunement to the natural starlit gift of the universe. We are ascending, and we are being drawn into the soul of earth. It is all one. There are new frequencies, there is evolution and ascension. This evolution is so deeply programmed, so universally inspired, it seems to stem from everywhere and nowhere, all at once. A template offers itself with its miraculous familiarity. It is distant, lofty, pure, and earthy all at once. All suffering fades away before it like a dream, an evaporating cloud, and yet we sway back and forth. And sometimes the clouds close in around us once again, and it's the radiance that seems like a dream. Yet it cannot be forgotten, once glimpsed, and it becomes increasingly the pivot of our endeavor, the sphere toward which we aspire. There might come a fear that this will be lost. The radiance will vanish, fade from our hands, stolen by a darkness that is more real. But in truth, like the stars, it reappears. And its influence is so diffuse, so universal, even when veiled. So there is nothing that needs to be done. Yet there arises also a natural tending to this garden of stars. Even as it breathes love and wonder through our days, so we offer love and attention, cultivation as a natural offering, as an inevitable response. This is now the blue sky. On the other side of every storm, the lost temple is ever more omnipresent, ever more vibrant within and all around us. We are transfiguring into the star temple of the earth, and the great winds of remembrance rush through us, and we feel the power of the sacred places singing through our feet, and somehow we know we have been here before, or perhaps we have never truly left. Let the stars imbue you with your natural radiance. Nature, the earth, has spheres you have barely explored. These spheres carry an intention that goes beyond our individual awareness into the heart of love itself. In these realms we are more beautiful, more real, shining with an intensity that becomes evident to the naked eye. Yet there is simultaneously less substantiality. There is a translucency. We shine with that which lies beyond. The earth and ourselves, we hold one another's dreams. I come to a shore of dark waters. Canoes drift to the shore, silent, laid out within in a cocoon of swan feathers. One by one are the elders, adorned with the pattern and ornament of their inheritance. Enfolded in the long pinions of their swanfeather cloaks, they wear shining sapphire robes, each embroidered at the sleeves with a lost script. A lantern hangs at the prow of each boat, illuminating the archways of the forest. These are the elders who hold the crystalline knowledge of the Lemurian temples. Theirs are the old ways, theirs is the old faith of a cosmic creativity. This is the lost lineage of the swan elders. At the edge of the water, there is one canoe that stands empty. I enter, laying down amongst swan feathers. My cloak is laid out. I come to this, a diaspora of bone, a mandala of flight from here to there. I settle into the cloak, cool as satin silk, sheer, pale as ghost and frame of bone. I have been lost to this for so long. I ache with the effort of remembrance. A part of me longs for oblivion and to remain unfulfilled. There is sweetness in falling back to earth, always unfinished, only half listening to the call that comes. And yet I know that I too have made this call, and that this is a prayer, one of my own. As the feathers grow through my bones, I feel a simultaneous ache and strength. It grows into my back, an inheritance of flight. I lie back in the canoe and close my eyes. The cloak encloses me in a sheath of feathers. There is a warmth, a muskiness to the cloak. I am enveloped in its hollow bones and quills, its cool insulation. The canoes move off from the shore. I feel suddenly the sway of movement, the sound of the water rushing back from the keel, as if in flight formation the barges leave the river bank. I close my eyes and I can hear the ripple and hiss of their movement through the waters unsteered. The canoes travel the river through the mountain forests, curving through sheer canyons. Lamp lit, they glide ever onward. I can feel the atmosphere alter. We are being drawn into the elven forest, the place where an ancient harmony has evolved and structures of ancient time are still held. Every leaf is spun in uninterrupted communion with all other leaves. Light and space here are fully evolved into their true potential, nature attaining to its white mandala within this realm. This forest has long been tended by the Shining Ones. There are mosses and lichens from the branches, holding their specific harmonies with the stars. Even with my eyes closed, I can feel the alignments of this sphere. A doorway has opened up that allows us into this uninterrupted place, this place where the choreography of elements is so precise, so evolved. The sapphire path of the river pulls us further and further into the elven forest. I can feel the shimmering wings of the forest calling through my swan cloak. 1,000 memories of spirit flight are stirred. Behind my eyelids, subtle radiances start to rise and fall. Violet, gold, rose, and emerald. This is one of the dwelling places of the elders who dream the earth. It is a meeting place of all the emerald and subtle realms, where dimensions dance in and out of one another. I can feel the ethereal bridges and archways that are woven into the natural forest. Here is the architecture of a radiant culture, an invisible and ancient aspiration. Finally, the hulls of the 7 canoes bump and rasp against the sand of a riverbank, and we come to a halt. There is the silence, and a whistling song somewhere deep below ordinary sound. We have entered a different sphere, somewhere where the silence rules more deeply. I sit up slowly in my cloak, opening my eyes, and find leaves like 1,000 downy white swan feathers hanging all around us. I lift up my arms to touch the leaves. There is the stiff movement of the feathers attached to my hands, and I am pushing the myriad tendrils in the air all around. Pushing against the sides of the canoe, I sit up, and brushing aside the veil of branches in front of me, I peer ahead to see what it is, where it is that I have landed. There are the mossy undulations of a clearing, and at its center there is an immense tree. It towers upward, its trunk like a citadel spun of amethyst, a cosmic temple with its portals opening to every dimension. Our barges are moored beneath the draping fringes of its outermost branches. I can feel that the rest of the forest stretches out in a protective mandala around this tree, surrounding the lavender and otherworldly fire of its endless canopy. The swan elders stand up in their canoe. They stand there in their sapphire embroidered robes, and their cloaks have fallen away from them into the canoes. Then, unexpected as the flash of a kingfisher, one by one they dive into the waters. As they touch the water, they metamorphose, they become swans. One by one, with the great, fierce beating of their wings, they take off into the skies. They are soon lost from sight above the canopy of the forest, and I am left standing on the shore, gazing at the empty canoes and the pale, empty cloaks within. A figure emerges from the forest beyond the tree. Her skin and her dress glow moon pale, her dress transforming into a lamplight of gold leaves at the hem. She is tall and graceful. She is crossing the clearing toward me. At her feet, There are dozens of small crystal bowls placed beneath the tree, filled with water offerings. Somehow I know that it is she who has placed them here, and that she is the guardian of the tree. She comes to the barges and leans across the bows, taking my hands in hers and pulling me onto the shore. She takes me to the tree, and as I step under its canopy, I feel a wild shimmer run through my body. The dreaming tree's canopy hangs like an orb over the forest floor. It encompasses a wide clearing at the river's edge. A stream emerges from between the roots of the tree and flows out in curves amidst the rocks to meet with the river. Amidst the roots are the offering bowls, carved out of different crystals, and amongst them small spheres of sapphire are burning on the ground. I sit down heavily amongst the roots of the tree. The guardian walks back again to the barges and lifts the empty cloaks to the shore one at a time. She carries them to the tree and places them onto the ground at its base until the 6 cloaks encircle the tree. They begin to dissolve into the ground, their forms fading and becoming smoke-like and dull until they vanish altogether. The flight paths and memories of the elders are being summoned back into the dreaming tree. But my cloak, its heavy wingspan, remains attached to me, clinging to my arms, my shoulders, my back. It is cumbersome and awkward. I sit beneath the tree, the feathers stretching out beyond my fingertips, touching to the ground. It is stiff, with the brittle rustle of the feathers against the earth. I wonder why my cloak remained with me, why I have not flown with the other swans. I can feel the tree raining down its radiance all around me, the guardian, having completed her task, comes over and settles herself, sitting cross-legged before me. There is a feather white in her hair. Her hair is moon pale, and there is the glimmer of turquoise at her brow. She is the rune and the glyph of a greater harmony, a purpose beyond herself. She speaks to me, and her voice is the sound of the leaves of the tree, a murmuring of autumn leaves through the yellow trail to stars. You have need of your cloak, the cloak of the shaman, because you still have to cross over between worlds. The grandmothers will make for you this gift, if you are prepared to take up the sacred task that is yours. You are to create a doorway between the human realm and the spirit realms, to create a doorway and to keep it open, so that others may step through into the realm of vision. I ask her, my heart humming with her words, but why a swan-feather cloak? The cloak is so that the people who need you can find you, as can the spirits. It is about clarity of intention and dedication. It is a sign that you have given yourself, and thus it provides protection and enables the path to unfold more smoothly. In this cloak, you are more easily found by those who need you, and yet less visible to those who do not. Within the ice and the stone and the waters of these lands, it is the swan who has remembered the old alliance. The myriad hollow bones of its feathers are crystal maps of the other world laid out. The swan has the power to bridge the realms, for which both strength and otherworldliness are required. You shall require this physical strength as well as fluidity and affinity with the light realms. These are the cloud-eyed offerings of autumn, harvest of the aeons, thousands of years of the lost tribe. From the surrounding forest emerge the grandmothers. There are 4 of them, their white hair pulled back from their faces, high collars of swan feathers around their necks. They come to me, and with deft fingers remove the cloak from my shoulders. There are tattooed markings on their faces, and there is something of the swan fall of a beak about the contours of their faces. Their eyes are dark and inscrutable, the skin of their hands lined and rough, yet with a transparency. Their glance is fell and swift, their dresses dusk grey. They kneel down in the moss illumined by the canopy. They begin to work at the cloak, tugging and smoothing the feathers this way and that. The cloak begins to transform under their hands. It takes on tones of gold, violet, indigo, fawn, and crimson. The swan feathers are altering, the fabric becoming supple beneath their fingers. It is becoming a rainbow cloak. One of them looks at me with her somber, slanting eyes and says, "This is the inner nature of the cloak." It appears as a swan feather cloak. This is its translation into this realm. You shall recognize it as this, as the swan feather cloak of the shaman. Yet within it is the elven mandala of the sun, woven out of 7 sacred fires. It is this that enables you to step between realms, that enables you to remain true to yourself and become a living expression of wisdom. The daughters of the sun have woven this as a gift for you, but in truth it is your inheritance and a natural emergence. The grandmothers close in around me. I am enclosed in the sphere of their somber and elemental intensity. It is as though the very air is altered, becoming slow and dense with their intention. Then they drape the cloak around my shoulders and wrap it around my body, crossing it over my chest. I am enveloped in the cloak. Its soft weight pulls me onto the sapphire paths of the future. I go forwards and I go back into gold realms of memory and presence. I find an earth that is hidden amongst the dreams that were lost. Into this earth I am transfigured, feather by feather, and this is the gift of the swan. So many blessings of this Elven Immortal Star Pod, episode 43, and it's been such a joy to share this with you, this first chapter of the Silver Wheel, the last teachings of the Deerskin book. It's been physically in this world for 7 years now. So beautiful. And yeah, the words humming through me as never before. I share them with you now. So much love, and I shall see you next time. Farewell for now.